Hi friends, welcome to my channel Series Scribe. In today's video, I am excited to share with you all on how I reuse old t-shirts to create something meaningful and long lasting. It's a simple and eco-friendly way to breathe new life into your old clothes while making unique and practical items for your home. Creating this coaster may not be the easiest project, but trust me, with a little patience and some basic skills, anyone can make it at home. It's all about taking things step by step, and the end result is totally worth the effort. You don't need to be an expert, but just someone willing to try something new and enjoy the process. With a bit of creativity and the right tools, you will be able to transform old t shirts into beautiful and functional pieces. My husband surprised me with these beautiful flowers for my birthday, and while the flowers looked amazing on their own, the added touch of this coaster really completed the look. Now let's dive into the process of creating this upcycled t-shirt coaster. As you can see in the video, I started by cutting old t-shirts into long strips. Then I hand braided these strips to create these unique t-shirt yarn bundles. Since the process involved is handmade, it takes a lot of time and patience to create these t-shirt yarn. On average, it takes at least a day or two to finish braiding a single large t-shirt into yarn. I create many products out of t-shirt yarn, one of which is textile art that is designed to last for over 100 years. This durable and timeless craftsmanship ensures that each piece can be enjoyed for generations to come. You can explore my textile art collection on my website. I will drop my website link in this video's description, or you can scan the QR code flashing on the screen to visit my website. I repurpose old plastic bottles, styrofoam pieces, and kitchen tissue paper rolls to wrap the t-shirt yarn. This way, I am not only reducing waste but also giving a new life to plastic bottles instead of letting them end up in landfills. Additionally, I use these items as holders for my scrunchy hairbands, making them both functional and eco-friendly. I have this t-shirt yarn that I am currently working on. Maybe in future video I'll show you the process of turning a old t-shirt into fabric strings like these. But for today I'll show you how I hand braid these t-shirt strips to create a rope, a braided rope. To start, we only need two plain strings of t-shirt yarn. It's as simple as braiding your hair, just that we are using fabric strings instead. As you can see, I have taken two t-shirt strings and tied a knot at one end to keep them secure. Now I began braiding by carefully twisting and turning the strings over one another. The key is to keep the tension even and make sure each twist is neat, which ensures the braid will come out smooth and sturdy. It's a simple yet satisfying process that gradually turns the strips into a tight rope or a fabric yarn. To create this coaster, you will need t-shirt yarn, a piece of cardboard, a hot glue gun, hot glue sticks, or any firm glue and scissors. For the coaster template, I use a bowl or a round plate to trace and cut the cardboard into desired shape. For this particular project, I chose a very large bowl because I wanted to create a bigger coaster. The bowl serves as a perfect guide, allowing me to get a nice and even circle. However, if this is your first time making a coaster, I recommend starting with a smaller bowl or plate. It will make the process easier and more manageable as you get the hang of it. Once you have chosen your bowl or plate, simply place it on the cardboard, trace around it, and then carefully cut out the circle to form your coaster's base. After cutting out the coaster template, I usually have a lot of cardboard residue. Instead of throwing these cardboard scraps away, I like to cut them into tiny pieces and add them to my compost bin. Cardboard is a great material to use in composting because it serves as a valuable brown source which helps balance the carbon to nitrogen ratio in the compost. These small cardboard pieces break down over time, providing structure to the compost and aiding in the decomposition process. Not only does this help reduce waste, but it also contributes to creating nutrient rich soil for gardening and planting. It's a simple yet effective way to recycle and support the environment. Now that the cardboard base is ready, it's time to work on the coaster. Technically, we could work on both sides and carefully stick the t-shirt yarn strips all over the cardboard. Once I have gathered all the necessary tools, the next step is to select the colors for the coaster. This part is entirely up to personal preference and it's one of the most fun yet challenging aspects of the process. Since I have so many yarn bundles in different shades, I sometimes find myself getting a little overwhelmed with the options and unsure about how to coordinate the colors. However, after taking some time, I finally decided on two colors that complement each other. For this project, I used both a hot glue gun and B7000 glue. I prefer using B7000 glue in certain parts of the project because it provides a much firmer and more durable hold. Although the B7000 glue is quite pungent and has a strong smell, but it works wonders especially for projects where you need a solid and long lasting bond. The only downside to using B7000 glue is that it takes longer time to cure and harden when compared to the hot glue. So you need to be patient and give it time to fully set. I started by attaching the t-shirt yarn along the outer edge of the cardboard, covering the small width around the circle. I worked on this outer section first by gluing the yarn around the edge to create a neat and consistent border. This step is important because it helps cover the edges and gives the coaster a clean and finished look. Since I am using B7000 glue, it takes a few minutes to harden and set properly. So I set the coaster aside for a while, allowing it to fully dry before continuing with next steps. Whenever I work on long projects like textile art or coasters, I like to sit down and create them patiently. These projects require focus and attention to detail. For example, just attaching the yarn to this coaster took me nearly half a day. Even though it might seem simple to attach the yarn in a circular motion, spreading the glue and carefully placing yarn correctly is more time consuming than it looks. It's a process that requires precision and patience, and it's not something everyone may have the time or interested in. But the satisfaction of completing it makes the effort worthwhile. Now I begin working from the outer edge by attaching the yarn onto the cardboard, gradually working my way inwards. This method helps create a neat and organized design, ensuring that the yarn is securely placed while maintaining a consistent look. As I move inward, I carefully position the yarn, making sure it aligns properly with the previous strip. This step-by-step approach helps build the coaster's structure, allowing me to create a smooth and tight surface as I continue adding the yarn. So if you are new to my channel, I'd love to share a little bit more about myself and my passion for upcycling fashion waste. A few years ago, when I first realized the scale of fashion waste and how fast fashion is contributing to global pollution, I was shocked to learn how much of a threat our clothes pose to the environment. For the longest time, I assumed that our clothes were made from natural, organic materials like plant or animal based fibers. I thought of cotton coming from cotton plants, silk, usually from silkworms, or wool from sheep, as the main sources of fabric. However, after doing some research and reading several books, I discovered that a significant portion of today's clothing is actually made from synthetic fibers, primarily derived from petroleum based materials like polyester, which is a byproduct of plastic. This realization was eye opening and pushed me to think more deeply about my clothing choices. Determined to make a difference, I started working on my sewing skills and learning different traditional hand woven techniques to breathe new life into these old clothes. I began with upcycling my daughter's old clothes, turning them into beautiful and functional products initially. As I gained more experience and confidence, I decided to take the next step and turn my passion into a small home based business. It's been 5 years now, and throughout this time, I have had the opportunity to work on some incredible projects here in Singapore, which I am proud of. I have collaborated with Singapore government organizations, corporates, and educational institutions, advocating for awareness about fashion waste and its environmental impact. It's been an amazing journey, and I'm excited to continue sharing the importance of upcycling and sustainability with all of you. So, that's a quick story about how my passion has turned into a business. As you can see, I'm still working on the coaster and haven't even finished one full circle yet. We often watch many YouTube videos where everything is shown in fast forward motion, and it can make these handmade products seem so easy to create. But the actual reality at ground level is quite different. The process takes time, patience, and a lot of attention to detail. Creating these handmade items requires steady effort and isn't as quick as it may seem. Now I started using a hot glue gun to speed up the process. Even though hot glue guns are quick to set and help me work faster, they do leave behind a lot of plastic like residue during the process. Out of curiosity, I decided to look up in Google more about hot glue sticks and how they are made, and found out that they are not actually made from glue. Instead, they are composed of polymers, which are synthetic materials. This was quite surprising to me as I had always assumed they were a more natural adhesive like glue. It made me think more about the materials we use in our everyday crafting and their environmental impact. I decided to use the B7000 glue itself. While it takes a bit longer to set, I still prefer this because it provides a stronger and more durable hold without the plastic residue left behind like hot glue. So, all I wanted to say is the next time you see a handmade product or an artisan working with traditional hand woven methods, please take a moment to appreciate their efforts and refrain from judging the price of the product. Handmade items are often more expensive for a variety of reasons, including the time, craftsmanship, and meticulous work that goes into creating each piece. On the other hand, machine made products may be quicker to produce, but they aren't as environmentally friendly. It's important to understand that these heavy machines consume a lot of electricity, and while they do provide employment opportunities, there's another side of it also. Often these workers aren't treated fairly or compensated adequately for their labor. The entire life cycle of production, manufacturing, and sales is a complex process that lacks clear governance and policies, making it difficult to track. As consumers, we play a vital role in this cycle. By taking the time to understand the broader picture, we can make more informed choices. Supporting sustainable brands and products is one way we can contribute to a greener economy. In doing so, you are not only making more eco conscious decisions, but you are also supporting artisans who put their heart and soul into their craft, enabling them to continue their work and help build a more sustainable future for everyone. I hope this video has given you a deeper insight into my passion for upcycling, my work, and my entrepreneurial journey. I really enjoyed sharing it with you all and hope you found it interesting too. I'll see you all in my next video. Until then, stay curious and keep learning.